Today is July 27th, 2006. I am Jessica Clark. It's a pleasure to conduct this interview for the Dakota Memories Oral History Project in Regina, Saskatchewan in Canada. Can you state your name to begin with?
Well, it's Agatha. Sounds but they call me Peggy.
How did you get the name Peggy?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody picked it up.
Okay. Were you named after your grandparents?
Both my grandmothers.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And when were you born?
December the 7th, 1918.
1918. And where were you born?
Dilk, Saskatchewan.
Have you ever heard a story about your birth? Do you know if a midwife was present or a doctor?
No, I don't know anything at all.
Okay.
Just the doctor, I guess, was there.
Okay. What are some of the first things in your childhood that you remember? Some of the earliest things you remember?
Thinking back now. So very many things that I remember when I was small. Just that we, have kids to play around with all the time and cousins around and games and.
Do you remember some of the games that you used to play?
No, maybe more hide and seek, I suppose. Hide and seek. Yeah.
Did you have any toys when you were a kid?
I don't remember anything. Don't remember any toys. At least I don't remember, because with John and Mary and Amy were there, so I guess we played around with them all the time, and the cousins that were around that were old enough.
And those were your cousins, John and?
No, it was my brother.
Oh, your
my brother and my sister.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sister and Amy, or Amelia, whatever her name was. Yeah.
So you called Amelia Amy when you were growing up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you would play hide and seek and stuff, were you on the farm?
Yeah, we used to play hide and seek on the farm, around the buildings, around the barn, or whenever the kids were around, fooling around. Or I'd go to the neighbors and play around there, see with their kids and play hide and seek.
Can you tell me a little bit about what life was like on the farm?
Well, it was interesting. There's always lots to do. There's never a dull moment. You can always find something to do with kids around,
What type of chores did you have to do when you were growing up?
Well, I used to milk the cows and gather up the eggs and anything, bring in some wood and things like that had to be done for the.
Wood, was that what you used to heat the house, or was that for cooking?
Well, they put it in the stove to heat it up, and for baking and for cooking, things like that.
Did you ever use anything else to heat the house with, or was it only wood?
No, it's coal. They had coal in the living rooms when they had the little stoves there. They had little coal to use,
Where would your family get the coal from?
Well, they'd go to Dilk and to the store and buy it.
How far did you live from the town?
I think it was 7 miles. It's about 7 miles.
Did you get to go to town when you were a kid?
Not when we were small. I don't remember ever going to the small until we got bigger, but 6 or 7 maybe. We might go along sometimes and go out for ice cream or something like that,
Did they have like an ice cream parlor in town, or?
Well, they had just a place where you can get ice cream, Anybody got the ice cream if they wanted to. Probably the people made it there, I don't know.
Did they have different flavors, or was it just vanilla?
Just vanilla.
Do you remember how much an ice cream would cost back then?
Well, no. Maybe 5 cents. It was cheap, Cheap. We go in there Saturday nights. Just oftentimes Saturday nights we go over with Mom and Dad and John, and Amy and John and And we just walk up and down the streets, and other kids, and meet other kids and people there, you know. Sometimes the relatives and friends were there.
So was Saturday nights kind of like a family night where
Well,
you would...
well, a lot of people would go to town Saturday nights. You see all kinds of people there. They go shopping, and then they bring the kids along with them, and so it's always a lot of people you could see there.
Would there be dances in town, or...
Yeah, but we never did go to any of them. Once in a while they might have a dance there, but we were too small to go, so we didn't go.
Let's talk about your daily life for a little bit. How often would you take a bath when you were growing up?
Well, let me see. I don't think we even had a bathtub, so we just had a good wash, you know, maybe two once a week or whatever, just, you know, sort of.
Every day, but it just...
When you washed every day, but you just bathtub was out.
Cups.
I'm guessing that you didn't have any running water in the house.
No.
So did you
No.
have to haul your
Yeah,
water from
yeah.
someplace?
I had to get the water from my aunts. Like Mary said, you have to get about the pail full and cart it home.
Were you at home still when your family got running water? Or were you already out of the house?
Well, I guess no, it was in the city when we first time, I think, that we did running water when we got to the city.
How old were you when you first had running water?
Well, I guess first came to Regina, I guess.
How old were you? 18?
18, I think, when I came into the city.
Okay.
Then I worked in here for a while.
Come in before then.
And then I went to school. And then from there I started working.
How about electricity? Do you know when the first time you got electricity was?
Not till I was in the city. That would be, you know, that time. Same time when I got to the city. It's the only time that you really realize that there's, you know, it was conveniences. Conveniences, you know.
What was it like having electricity
Well,
for the
it's
first
pretty
time?
nice. You can turn the lights on and turn the stove on and do all kinds of things.
Out on the farm, did your dad have a tractor?
Well, later on, not at the beginning, but I think they got later on as the years went on, they finally got a tractor.
So when you were
Yeah.
growing up, what type of farm equipment did he have?
Well, I knew they had a binder and he had the
Cedar,
seeder and the plows and
the plow, yeah.
yeah, and all these different things they need for a farm, you know. That's all I can remember.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that you would milk cows.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to separate the milk and
Yeah, except for milk and so you get cream. And yeah, we always had to, you know, do that
did you help?
twice.
Did your family make cottage cheese or anything else from the milk, like
Yeah.
butter, things like that?
Oh, yeah.
How
yeah.
did you do that?
Yeah. Well, butter, you have to get cream. Cream, but you know, you save the cream and eventually it gets sour, and then you churn it, and then you got butter out of it.
We wrapped many of one.
Yeah, yeah.
What about cottage cheese? How would you do that?
I can't forget.
Go sour.
It just goes sour, I know. The cheese sits there, it just goes sour, I know. Yeah.
So, what types of, or how far was the school from your farm?
Half a quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile?
Yeah, so we walked it every day.
What type of clothes would you wear in the wintertime to keep you warm?
Oh, boots and coat and scarf and hat or toque, whatever it was, and gloves. I mean, you had to wear that because it was pretty cold. You walked for a quarter of a mile, you know, it was pretty cold.
Were the clothing that you wore, were they homemade or were they store-bought?
No, well, I think most of it was bought. they were jackets, I guess, and things were bought, but Mum had made a shirt or something like that. She'd go through that herself. She'd sew. She made a lot of other clothes, Kept for coats, we'd probably buy the coats, because they're pretty hard to make.
So when you would buy the coats, would you order them from a catalog or would you go to a store?
No. Well, sometimes you get from the catalogue. Once the catalogues come out, then they kind of went through the catalogues and they get the odd thing like that.
Do you remember what catalogs you had when you were growing up?
Eaton's and Simpsons, you say? Eaton's and Simpsons catalogues.
Eaton's.
Eaton's mostly, yeah, both of them.
Eaton's.
We didn't get too much from these catalogues, but we got some things that you couldn't make, See, so.
So when you were growing up, were you close to your mother?
Oh yeah, we were very close. We were all very close, They always took good to us.
What types of things would you do with your mother?
Not much. I just help around the house or things you could do, maybe dust or something. Little things that you could do jobs for them, That's not too hard.
Did you ever have to help with the laundry?
Yeah, I think I did. A lot of times I used to hang out the clothes and stuff like that, Bring it back in again when they're dry and do a little bit of ironing once in a while. And that's about it.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the weather was like when you were growing up? What were winter months like?
Well, it was pretty cold some days. It was really very, very cold. You had to bundle up when you wanted to go out. You got warm clothes on. Because the winter was always very cold anyway, but when spring came, it wasn't so bad,
Did you ever experience a blizzard when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, we had different blizzards. Couldn't even go out. You hardly see at the barn. They were quite strong, and wind blowing, and roads were closed up with the snow blowing in the ditches and everything, The driving was very hard.
How about the summer months? What were the summer months like?
Oh, they were pretty good. I mean, once it got nice and warm, you're outside, and you'd be out in the garden, or you'd play ball, or the kids would come over and you'd play hide and seek or something like that, just.
Did you, your sister mentioned that lightning storms and thunderstorms were quite scary for her. Did you experience those quite often?
Oh yeah, we had them here. To scare you, to make you jump. We've had some severe ones, and they were pretty bad, some of them.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Dirty 30s, what they were like?
Well, people were poor. They didn't have very much of anything. And if the ladies could sew, well, they'd make the clothes, and had to do the best they could with what they had. Some of them had very little, but they still managed, Yeah.
Did you ever experience a dust storm?
Oh yeah, different times you get up and you can hardly see the road. Oh yeah, they come pretty severe.
How would you keep the house clean during that time?
Well, just to keep dusting. Every time it's a storm, you dust. And then dust would come through the doors, and it's pretty rough at times.
What about World War II? How did that affect life?
I don't know. I don't remember too much about that. I mean, it's
You were down east.
Well, I was down east when that all happened. But I mean, you didn't interfere with a lot of things. You didn't do a lot of things,
But you worked in the
yeah.
factory. You worked in the factory.
Well, I worked in a factory down there, yeah, where they made the stun guns. And I worked down there in Toronto. And then after that, I worked for Imperial Oil down there when I started working again. After I quit the other job, you know. When I did the gunning, the guns day, you know, when I finished that, I was there to work at a place where they make Easter cards and Christmas cards and things like that. And then after that, I got in with Imperial Oil and I worked with them for 11, 12 years down there. Then I come back home.
Okay. Well, we'll ask a few concluding questions, some general questions, and see where they take us. Do you remember a scary time in your childhood? Something that really kind of stood out as...
Not really. Not really. I can't remember. Never went anywhere to get scared.
And lightning strikes.
Well, only the lightning, but that's usually you don't. You just run to the corner and sit down.
How about a stressful time in your childhood? Do you remember any time that was really hard for you to get through?
Not really, I don't think. Just took it from day to day, whatever happened, you know.
Besides falling off the house.
But that's different thing. That's too long ago. That was when I was small, when I fell off the house.
And how about a happy time in your childhood?
Yeah.
You remember anything in particular as being a real happy time in your childhood?
I really don't remember. I mean, to me, things went pretty good, you know. I mean, I never had any problems with a lot of things, you know, and kids were all good around there, so you could play with them, and so we always had a good time.
And is there anything else about your childhood that we haven't talked about that you would like to share?
I don't remember. Do you remember, Mary? They're all happy to me. They're all happy. They're all good. I mean, Mom and Dad were good to us, and you know, and we all got along as kids, you know. And the neighbors were always very good. The kids there, they're always very good. They always come over, we'd play and things like that, you know. So it was really nice. So I don't remember anything about, you know, that when I was small that I didn't like anything, you know. I always enjoyed things. And if I didn't like something, I just didn't go and do it, you know, stay away from it, you know. So that's the way I look at things. I don't interfere too much with things, so I can't see too much. I've had some happy times. They're all pretty good.
Okay. And the last question, why did you want to participate today?
Well,
I talked you into it. Chris talked me, you blame
yeah. Well, I'm going to blame Chris for it all, you know. No, I enjoy it, you know, but I mean, it's just that you forget a lot of things, and you can't remember a lot of things, and
We just wanted to meet who was coming.
yeah, see who's coming.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we
Just
thank you both for taking the
yeah,
time to participate.